Welcome back to the Brew Crew Podcast, everyone. This is day 10 of the Advent Calendar Spectacular. I think that's what we're calling it. I'm not sure. Today brings another variant we haven't had, another beer style we haven't had yet. Got some great feedback. I want to give an out shout to Randy Orton for giving feedback. He said that the Brew Crew Advent Calendar is the best part of the Brew Crew podcast, which I think is phenomenal feedback.
He's watching.
Great feedback. I watched your video. I did not know that a pastry stout is not an official style of beer.
It's not. It's not officially recognized yet.
That's crazy.
By the American Beer Association. So
that's
what do you
nuts.
know? But it is generally recognized though as one of the most popular modern, styles.
Sweet stout.
So, yep.
Today we have Bissell Brothers Precept, which is a German Pilsner. This is, let's open it before we get into like the details, because this is a beer from the tap at Barrel House, we don't have any background information on the can, we don't have can art, we don't have here's the malts, here's the hops, here's the percentage, the ABV and stuff, so I had to look some of that stuff up. So while I'll give you a chance to start tasting it while I do some of the background reading and stuff. Take your pick of the bottle opener here.
Is this one?
Yeah, that's a bottle opener. We got Thor's hammer, we got the luchador, and we got the Mayan calendar.
Oh, I got to do the stretchy.
All right, I like using Thor's hammer. So here we go. Let's see. You ready?
I think.
3, 2, 1. There we go. We are open. That's
pretty good, man.
Now we have a Pilsner glass if you want it. You can also drink out of the bottle, just in case you wanted to see it.
This is important.
Now, I will say that the Bissell Brothers logo looks interesting to me. I can't remember. It looks like something. It looks... I don't know. Anyway, they started in 2013. They're staying dedicated to their home state of Maine, but I believe that they're not brewing out of Maine. Let me see. They are... Oh, man, there's a lot of words on this website. Portland, Maine. So they are brewing out of Maine. I don't know why they say that they're staying loyal to their home state of Maine. You're in Maine. You're staying loyal by being there. That's just maybe that's not true. I don't know. It is true though. It's my opinion. This is a 5.6% German Pilsner. Now this beer uses 100% Maine-grown Pilsner malts. So it is a Maine Pilsner. What do you think?
Maine Pilsner, but they're calling it a German Pilsner. So it's made in the German style.
Made German style, yeah. They got house lager yeast. Their house lager yeast. So they're growing yeast.
Growing yeast.
How do you do that? You grow that on a pan or something?
No, it's really easy, actually. Dish? All you do is, once you get a yeast culture going, you buy yeast in, it's like regular bread yeast. It's like in a little powdery kind of pellet kind of fashion. And once you start a yeast starter, for ale or lager or whatever, if you really like that yeast, you can actually keep a little bit at the end and just keep it. And even if it goes dormant, you can fire that baby back up by putting a little water and a little sugar in there, and that yeast will go crazy. So that's how people keep yeast going. If they really like a yeast, or if they have a unique one that gives them great flavor, that's how they do it.
Excellent. Thanks for that. I did not know that. Now this beer, I could smell it from if I put it here, I could smell the beer, and I mean, it smells exactly like what I expected.
Yeah.
Definitely not a bad smell or anything. All right, let's break into it. Bissell Brothers Precept. Make sure I say that again. 5.6%. Wow. Interesting Pilsner. Now, we've had a number of... There's like one word right on the tip, right away that I'm just going to describe this beer as, and I hope that maybe it elicits agreement, but we'll see if it does or not. Sometimes I'll say something during the traditional podcast, the Monday podcast, and I'll see him nod like, yes, that was a word that I would use, or he'll do the same and I'll nod. We'll see if that happens, but I would like to hear your thoughts on this beer.
Okay, I'll start off.
Unless you have to drink more.
A German Pilsner beer is one of the original lagers or pilsners that ever was made, and it's made in based on the German beer purity law, which is called Reinheitsgebot, that strictly limits what ingredients you can put into a beer. It's water, it's barley malt, it's yeast, and it's hops. That's it. And certain types of each of those things, right? The word Pilsner is actually the German word that comes from the city in Czechoslovakia where this style of beer was actually first invented, and it was, I don't know, 600-700 years ago, by the way. So this beer's been being made for a long time because the Reinheitsgebot, purity law in Germany, it's over 500 years old. So so this is a very purist, kind of most elemental lager and Pilsner that you can get. Pilsen, of course, in Czechoslovakia is one of the great homes of the original hops, the Pilsen hops, but you can still buy Pilsen to this day. It was Pilzen. Pilsen, and that's like the original Pilsner beer ever made. So this German lager, or this German Pils, is meant to be based on that very strict, fundamental definition and ingredients of the Pilsner as it was originally made and as it was originally meant to be. And you can see the characteristics are pale straw-colored yellow, which is a pale barley malt, not caramel-colored. It has a really nice head quality and head retention. It's got a bitter taste into it, but not overpoweringly so. And it's got a floral aroma, which is from the hops, from the Pilsner hops, right? So they're not really strong hops like a Whippa, or something, or American hops. It's meant to be, really well balanced, which is that's the style it is. So there you have it, and it tastes every bit of that to me. All those things,
that's what it's got. That's your flavor. That's your flavor review as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not your score, but
it's good. It's because of the alcohol content in it, 5.6%. It's going to have it's got a little better flavor profile than a light beer, obviously, but it's definitely all that. It's a solid up the middle. I mean, if you were blindfolded and somebody handed you this beer, you'd go, "Oh, that's a Pilsner." Mm-hmm. That's a Pilsner
definitely.
Beer. So
I agree with that 100%. It's a shame that there's not more. I wish there was as much. There was as much innovation, diversity happening with Pilsners as there is with IPAs. I think that a lot of places do get influenced by the German purity laws on these Pilsners, and I don't know if it makes people, I don't think afraid's the right word. I think it makes them stand true to it and then not do something different. You get a lot of these Pilsners and you're like, yeah, that's a Pilsner. Like, I know what this is. This is obviously a Pilsner. And the range of like good to bad is very small. It's very small. Like the best and the worst are not far apart from each other. Exactly. And that's a shame because you should take a risk. Don't worry about those German purity laws. Do it. Make a beer like this and then do a Pilsner that's like fucking crazy. And I think that would be interesting. Try some different hops, try some different malts, and see what happens with these Pilsners. Of them, I think that personally, the smell, I guess I've never really, other than maybe roses, I don't really have a memory of a floral scent. So I wouldn't have described it as that, but that's because I just couldn't do it. This smells like beer. This is the, like every generic beer, in my mind, like when I think of stereotype of beer, it's this color, it's this smell. Some maybe not the taste because of all the light beer in the United States that we get. That's more of generic beer. But boy, this does not stand far apart from all of its Pilsner rivals. It's like I said, it's close. But I think that the key distinction for me between whether a Pilsner is better than the average or worse than the average is how thirst quenching it might be.
Yeah.
I know that's not a fair thing, but this beer is much drier than many of the Pilsners I've had. It doesn't quench your thirst, and the first thought I had when I tasted it was dusty. This beer is dusty. Not literally, I'm not coughing dust up. It just has the taste of like dry, like a dusty room that maybe your attic you haven't been in a while.
Yep.
And that's what this beer is to me. It doesn't mean it's a bad beer. I also don't think it's a good beer. We talk about this all the time. One good mark of giving a beer a lower score is whether or not you will remember having it. And I, for all intents and purposes, will not remember drinking this beer unless you tell me it's Bissell Brothers Precept. And even then, I might not remember it.
Then you're like, what was that again?
Matt has brought up beers from last year's SFIL, and I was like, oh, I've had that beer? Oh, I forgot, totally. But if I taste the beer and I can't tell that I've had it before, well, I mean, it's unfortunate. And I think this is probably a result of these German purity laws where all these beers are so close together. I don't know. You want me to give my score first? You want to give your score first?
I already got mine in mind. Go ahead. Right. I've already got mine in mind. It'll probably surprise you.
This beer is like, it's just forgettable. And I think we have another Bissell Brothers, so it doesn't.
Do we?
It doesn't, count them out as being the worst beer of the.
Right.
Well, it might be the worst beer for me of the whole thing, but actually it won't be because I think they're going to tie with the score I gave recently, 2.75. I think this beer's.
Wow.
It's beer.
Wow.
And I think they did a good job. I know Pilsners are hard to brew, right? They say it's the hardest one.
Yeah, the lagers.
Not to be offensive, but
I am going to agree with you.
Yeah.
That's the surprise.
That is a surprise.
And here's why. Right?
Christmas surprise.
You're right. You're right, because this tastes like every other Pilsner almost on the planet. It is drier than an average Pilsner, which means there's a lot less residual sugar. They basically, because the Reinheitsgebot kind of, it basically, the only sugar in there is what they don't add any additives, right? There's no added sugar.
Those main grown malts.
So the main grain malts, the barley malt that's in there gets fermented out, and you end up with a drier beer. But I've been to Pilsen in Czechoslovakia, and I've had Pilsen, and it's a little bit more golden color, a little deeper color, a little more richer flavor, and it's just got a little bit more richer, fuller flavor to it. Pilsen, the original Pilsen, Budvar, I think I mentioned that on another podcast before this. Those things are outstanding as far as Pilsners go. This is very average. So in that respect, totally agree with John. I give this a 2.75. Not that it's bad. I can drink it. I can take it or leave it, though. I probably, given my proclivities towards wanting to try new things and new beers and something different, something that's going to kind of bend my noodle a little bit, I probably would not buy this beer.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not that it sucks as a beer. It's just not. It's just not memorable. It's not outstanding. It's just not. It's an average Pilsner. So, but it's kind of on the dry side.
It is indeed. Have you been to Maine? Have you seen how they grow barley or malts?
I have never been. I've been to Maine, but I've never seen them grow barley or hops there.
Well, this is how they do it. I actually have to go.
All right.
Sorry, guys. This is going to have to be a short one today.
That's all right.
That was awesome, though. I like that you've been and you've had the Pilsen. Let me see what. Yeah, I will. Yep, you got to move your car.
All right, no worries.
All right, hey, that's it. Sorry, guys, we got to cut it short, but you get, what was your score?
2.75.
2.75 all around. Holy shithole. See ya.
See ya.